So I first went to talk about the fact that I sat down at my desk to make this video, and there's a king dong staring at me. The body is strong, but the flesh is weak, honey. I can't be expected to do it all. Anyway, happy Saturday morning to yins all. I'm up trying to doctor my hands a little bit. I don't know if I've mentioned this to yins before, but I have got freakishly sensitive skin, and heat bothers them greatly. So I used to have a prescription stuff that I put on them, but it's been so many years since I really needed it that I don't even know what the stuff called. So I got me some of this Gold Bond. I did. Alright, so, and it does help a little. I can't say that it's like a prescription strength kind of deal, but it's better than nothing. At least they won't itch. It's rough being sensitive. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, what has sparked, and I kind of mentioned this last night on the little cricket grasshopper video that I made on the way home, which there was no harming of there were no grasshoppers harmed in the filming of that video. He did leap to safety. I don't know what he's doing now. When I left, he was sitting up against the building, clutching a little tiny bottle of Muscatel and cursing the world. So I don't know. He could be anywhere by now, doing anything. Not my business. So, but anyway, I had just been thinking. I had dinner with a friend, and we got to talking, which was a great talk, a really great talk. It was awesome. And then we were just talking about different situations, and it got me to thinking about all the different people that are in my life, or people who I have maybe not been like connected to in terms of like they're in my circle, but I see them in somebody else's circle, and just changes that folk be going through. And I done put this lotion on my hands, and now I can't get the lid off my chapstick. That the struggle is real. And it bring. I'll get a Kleenex. And it brings me to this place where, I mean, we all know that I scarcely am at a loss for words, but sometimes you don't know what to say. Sometimes you feel like you've said everything, and then you said nothing. When it comes to a relationship, when it comes to finding that person that we're meant to be with, it's not always so much about finding as it is about waiting, and as it is about waiting for God to bring them to you, or to create the situation to where they're going to come into your life. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be at the Piggly Wiggly in front of the pork chop stand, and there's going to be this big opening of the skies, and this big thunderbolt going to come down, and then you're going to look up holding a family pack of pork chops, bone in, and this person going to be standing in front of you wearing a pair of wings, and going to say, hello, my name is so and so. Jesus sent me. It's not going to go down like that. It's not going to happen that way. Okay, but okay. So we've talked. These glasses are filthy. We've talked before about how God brings certain people into our lives at certain times and for certain reasons. He's preparing us. He's getting us ready for, they're kind of like the opening act, if you will. You know what? He's just kind of getting us ready for the main event. And I think so often we try to hold on. We're asking for an encore, from this opening act, when, honey, their time's over. They need to exit the stage. They need to just get off the stage because it's time. It's time for the main one to show up. And sometimes I feel like that's kind of how relationships are. But yet, we, again, and it goes back to our ego. It goes back to the fact that, we feel like we know better, and we feel like, well, I got this, I got control. I don't need nobody I don't need Jesus telling me what I need to do. Yeah, you do, because you're stupid. All of us that are sitting here single right now, all of us that are sitting right here in miserable relationships, unhappy, crying, going to bed every night, feeling conflicted with tears in our eyes, we're stupid. And we're stupid because we act like we know better. Now, I'm not calling any one of you dumb by any means, because I only associate with the intelligent, pretty people. But what I'm saying is we're dumb in the sense that how many years have we spent in turmoil because we thought we knew better? The whole time, Jesus is like, oh, Jesus, myself. That's what he's saying. Me. Because we just don't get it. We don't get it. And so what we end up doing is we end up going through this succession, this series of relationships that were never meant to last. They were never meant to stay. But honey, we're going to hang on to them with the kung fu grip, and somebody's going to have to pry our cold, dead, lifeless fingers off of them to get them out of our lives. Because we sitting here thinking, well, what if I don't find no better? Or what if the well has done dried up and that was the last one that's going to come my way? It don't work like that. It don't work like that, and we got to stop thinking like that. And the things that we settle for. Now, listen, everybody knows that I am notorious for not mentioning anybody's names. But when I mention specific things, I do have people in mind. I do have people in mind. And it's one of those deals that if you think I'm talking about you, I probably am. But you can call me. I mean, chances are, honestly, we've probably already had the conversation. Okay? I'm just talking out loud right now. That's all I'm doing. And them cords on that basket are about to take me out. I think I'm going to go to the furniture store today and get this primitive flag. Wonder what time it is. Yeah, I think it's exactly what I'm going to do. True story. Anywho, back to what I was saying. See, I get on this roll and then cords. Okay, yeah. So, but anyway, so if I speak about something and you start thinking, maybe that's your cue, or maybe that's your sign to sort of do a little bit of reflection. And you know what? It may be that I'm not even talking about you at all, but maybe you're feeling convicted about something. So here it goes. And if you think it's, here it goes. There are people, and this goes for men and women. This keyboard has got crumbs. There are men and women alike. So when I say things, I'm not just saying it's about a man, it's about a woman. We're people, honey, regardless of gender, regardless of whatever. We all have the struggles. We all have the relationship times. We are all imperfect. We all make mistakes. The hope is that we learn from them. The hope is that we don't repeat them continuously. What does that Trent Shelton always say? We don't keep breaking our own heart. And I think a lot of times that's what we do. That's what we do. If you're in a relationship where somebody putting their hands on you, okay, I don't care if it's a man, a woman, I don't care. Because boys get hit too. Boys get beat on too. But if you're in a relationship where they're putting their hands on you, and all you can say is, well, they're crazy about me. Well, you got one part of it right. Crazy. Because someone who loves you and someone who is there for you and meant for you is not going to put their hands on you in an Ike Turner sort of way. They ain't going to put some stank on it. They ain't going to black your eye. They ain't going to bust your lip and then turn around 5 minutes later with a shirt from the Walmart saying, baby, I love you. I'll never do it again. Honey, listen, that is like Colonel Sanders telling you that he ain't never going to sell another piece of chicken. Now, honey, what are the odds that's going to happen? Well, actually, it probably would because he's actually dead. But I'm just saying. I'm using it for a frame of reference. It's like a pig. It's like a pink piggy oink oink looking at you saying, I ain't never going to get no mud. What you saying? Once someone gets to the point that they lose control, talking about, I'm going to put my hands on you, that's it. It's a done deal. They're going to put, and the thing of it is, what we allow continues. It don't mean they love you. It don't mean that they're there for you. Because if they were, they would pray for you. They wouldn't hit you. Okay? And I understand getting lonely. Honey, I've been there. I've been lonely. But there's a difference in being lonely and kind of reflecting upon it and learning from it and growing. And I'll just take anybody I can get just so that I can say I'm not lonely. Yeah, I got to get some extra makeup to cover this black eye, but I'm in a relationship. No, you ain't. You in hell. You in hell. If you in a relationship where you have to, where the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and you sitting around flinching, waiting for the crazy to jump out because they was fine 5 minutes ago. They was all lovey-dovey 5 minutes ago talking about let's sit down and watch some Lifetime movies with the lovely and talented Miss Meredith Baxter Birney because I'm feeling a little romantic. And then 5 minutes later, it's boom right upside the head with a cake pan. That's hell. Living like that is hell. And I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. There ain't no amount of loneliness that is worse than somebody beating on you. And it goes back to we don't value ourselves. We don't know our worth. We feel like, well, we deserve it. And a lot of times when you talk to people in an abusive relationship, they will make more, honey, they got more excuses than Carter's got liver pills. Talking about, well, I shouldn't have made him mad, or I shouldn't have said this, or they assume all that blame, and they assume all that, the guilt, the responsibility on them for somebody else putting their hands on him. Honey, listen, I don't care if they collect Matchbox cars and you took every single one of them out to the front yard and took a big diarrhea dump on them. It still don't give them the right to put their hands on you. I mean, I'd make you wash them yourself. I don't know that I would, nobody ain't beating on nobody. I'm just, well, there is, but I mean, nobody's beating on me. Okay? Let's just go ahead and put that out there. Ain't nobody hitting me with hair this pretty. I mean, let's get real. But I do have a friend that is going through some mess like that. But anyway, and I have friends who have gone through that kind of stuff. God, in His infinite wisdom, knows what we need before we know what we need. And when He knows we're ready, here's the thing. It's kind of like we're a cake. And I speak in analogies. I'm a picture painter, okay? Let's say that people are cakes and God is the baker, all right? He ain't going to take you out the oven before He knows you ready because you ain't going to be right. You're going to be a big slopopotamus, runny, goopy mess. He takes you out the oven when He knows you're ready, not when you think, hey, can somebody get me out of here because I'm ready to go. No, it don't work that way. When's the last time your biscuits jumped out the oven on their own because they said they was ready? It don't work like that. So when God knows that you are ready for a relationship, when God knows your heart has healed enough, when God knows that you are right up here and that you are right in here and the two coincide and that you know your worth and you know what you are worth and you know what you will put up with, you know what you have to give, and you know who you are infinitely, 100% who you are, that, my friends, is when He's going to bring Him to you. Not a minute before. So all this cubic zirconia stuff that you picking up instead of waiting for the diamond, honey, the shine going to come off that. And it's probably going to turn your finger green. But you got to wait. If you're in a relationship with somebody who tries to change every little thing about you, talking about how, well, if you fix your hair different, or, oh, I don't really like that cologne you have on, or, well, if you could wear some maybe different clothes, if they try to change you, then what did they want about you in the first place? Do you know what I'm saying? Were they just sitting back looking for a project? Because if somebody falls in love with you the way you are and then wants to turn around and try to change everything about you, well, honey, who'd you fall in love with? Because this is how I am. This is how, you need to put a sign or something on that says all sales final. There's a process of change and evolution that we all go through as people. But, it's like you can't go to a car lot and buy a Volkswagen and then get it in the driveway and then be like, you know what, could you turn into a Mercedes? Honey, you're going to be waiting a long time. As my daddy used to say, you could wish in one hand and poop in the other and see which one fills up faster, because it ain't going to happen. And all it does, when you look at the person that you say that you love, when you look at the person who thinks that you love them, and you tell them this is what you need to change, they feel that they ain't good enough. They feel that whatever they are and whoever they are, however they look, is not good enough for you. So you got to try to fix it, and you got to try to change it. Those people are not meant to be your forever. Those are the people who are coming along to show you people like this exist. You can love them, but honey, you ain't got to put up with them. Let them go, because that ain't love. Love doesn't come in like that. Love is. I could just sing a song about it. Let me sing a song. The whole love is patient, love is kind. It is. Love doesn't tell you to dress a different way or fix your hair a different way. Or love sees you where you are. Love, like God. God meets you where you are. God doesn't say to you, okay, well, before I can love you, here's a list, honey, of all the things I'm going to need you to change before I can be okay with you. God meets you where you are. The person that is meant to be with you is going to meet you where you are. They're not going to sit back and fall in love with you and then expect a 180. It doesn't work that way. But see, those are the types of people that we want to hang on to, because we feel like if we don't, we ain't going to have nobody. Do you see what I'm saying? And so we create this misery. We create this heartache. We create all these things when all we have to do is stop and breathe. Just breathe for a minute. And understand that just because I am not in a relationship, just because I am not with somebody, don't mean I'm lesser than. Honey, it just means God ain't ready to take it out the oven yet. And He knows more than me, clearly. Well, I'm 47 years old and single, so clearly my way has not worked. Okay? Clearly something been wrong. Now, if you have a relationship where the person that you was with, honey, give you everything they had and then some, and it wasn't enough for you, and you start all this mind gaming hoopla, and they finally get done, let them be done. When someone loves you, truly, unconditionally, unselfishly loves you, what they want is for you to be happy, either by A, them being a part of your life and helping to create that happiness, or B, by standing back, letting you go so that you can have and find that happiness, even if it has nothing to do with them. That's what love is. Love isn't this possessive, let me hold on to you. I mean, I don't want you, but now I don't want nobody else to have you, so I'm just going to sit here and see what I can do to mess with your head. Love doesn't say, well, I'm going to hold all my feelings in and I'm not going to, say anything because that's a sign of weakness. But now when I see you moving on, honey, now I'm going to up my game. Honey, the game's over. The game is over. They done turned off the scoreboard, the lights, everybody done already exited the gym. What you still playing for? It's over. It's over. So it ain't about getting on no plane. It ain't about nothing. It's about letting people go so that they can have their happiness. Don't be selfish. And for you, the person that's on the receiving end of it, you're worth more. You're worth more. Don't think, oh, well, they finally. No, they didn't. It's a mind game. I've said this before, and Kimberly Jones Pothier, whom I love, and if you haven't signed up on her page, you need to, talking about how we always put ourselves on the discount rack, when what we need to do is put ourselves up front under the glass where they keep the valuables, because then they're protected. But see, we're discount, honey, we're the dollar rack at the Gap. That's what we turn ourselves into. Well, honey, when you do that, there's the kinds of shoppers that will go in and they'll go straight to the display case to find the valuables, and then you got these cheap fools who go straight to the rack. And when you put yourself on that rack, guess where they're going to go? Guess who you're going to attract? You ain't going to attract the person who's worthy, who's looking for the quality. No. No. That's not who you're going to get at all. Okay? You're going to get bargain basement Betty over here talking about, ooh, can I get that shirt for $1? No, Betty, honey, I'm worth more than $1. Thank you very much. And we don't take credit. So, like I said, it all boils down to this. It all boils down to just trusting that God has a plan, and stop rushing Him. Stop trying to jump out the oven before you're ready. He gonna take it out when it's ready. He going to take the biscuits out the oven when they ready and not a minute before. Don't be over his shoulder talking about, I think they done. I think they done. I think they done. Because he going to, right in your face. And it's one of those deals where and isn't it crazy how we can all sit back and look at everybody else's situation, take everybody else's inventory and be like, okay, I know what you need to do. But it's another matter entirely for us to do it for ourselves. Personally, for me, I'm at a point in my life that took me a very, 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 very long time to get here. But honey, I am firmly planted. I'm talking crazy glue. Okay, it's going to take the jaws of life to extricate me from the foundation on which I currently stand. Because I woke up and the light bulb done went off my head and I realized I am worthy. I don't need another person to define my worth. Honey, the good Lord above defines my worth. You see what I'm saying? I know that I'm worthy because he lives. That's how I know. So I don't need somebody coming along telling me that. Messing up what I think in my head and what I know, and I don't, none of us need that. We just need to be patient. We just need to breathe. We just need to wait. We just need to know that old boy upstairs, he knows what's up. And I just imagine him. I imagine him with every relationship that we try to force. And I've given this analogy too before. It's like them Fisher-Price, or maybe a puzzle. Maybe a puzzle. You ever been trying to work a puzzle and you got this piece to the puzzle, and honey, you will sit there for hell and ever trying to get that piece to go in that puzzle because you think it sort of looks like it might go, but it ain't gonna go. It wasn't meant to go there. So all the pushing in the world ain't gonna put it there. You know what I'm saying? All the strategic, I'm gonna turn it this way, I'm gonna turn it that. It ain't going to make it fit in that puzzle, honey, because it wasn't never meant to fit there in the first place. So sometimes what you got to do, you got to put the piece to that puzzle back in the pile and wait until you find the one that does fit. But see, we are a nation and we are a society of wrong puzzle piece fitters. We are constantly trying to make pieces of the puzzle fit when they don't fit. Honey, when that piece of that puzzle fits, you know it fits. And you're like, oh, okay. What's up? That's a great feeling. I would much rather have that feeling than the feeling of going to bed at night, crying my eyes out because somebody done made me feel less than. Don't let anybody make you feel less than. Don't let anybody along with their prejudice, with their hate, with their hostility, with their insecurity, with all the things that put them in turmoil, that they come along with a big old bag, and when they show up at your door, making you think they all buttery and sugary, and then they try to put that bag on you so that they can go on and be cool, and you're sitting here thinking, what just happened? What? I don't want your bag of mess. Take your bag of mess and honey, go on down to the Hojo's if you can find one, because they all closing from what I understand. I read on the interwebs the other day that I think there's only one Hojo's left. Maybe you can go to the Best Western, but don't go to room 304 and Russell, because that's my favorite room. Putting it out there. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop talking now because I feel like it's whatever it was here is left. So it's kind of that, we talked about the fact that I have no attention span. We talked about the fact that I am a little ADHD about it. But when I get something on my mind and when I get something on my heart, it just boom. It's just like bull out the gate or something. But then it's like I know that it's out when I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna drink my coffee. So whatever it was passed, so I hope that it came out the way it needed to come out. I hope that somebody listened to this and got something out of it. If you're in a relationship where you are struggling, just, honey, take a step back and breathe. And know that God does have a plan for you. You may not understand it. You may sit there and think, what in the hot kingdom of hell is going through his mind? Because this don't make no sense to me. Well, guess what, honey? It ain't supposed to make sense to you. You are supposed to have the faith. You let him handle the business. You have the faith. That's all it is. That's all you got to worry about. You see what I'm saying? So, but that's all I got for right now. I got some other topics rolling around, but they ain't ready to come. Jesus said they ain't ready to come out yet. When they are, I'll be back. In the meantime, happy Saturday. Get out and do something that makes your heart smile, that makes your heart happy, that brings you joy, that brings you blessings, that brings a blessing to somebody else. Sometimes when we're down and out and we're down in the dumps and we're thinking, oh, God, the best thing we can do is go out and be a blessing to somebody else. If you want to talk about a boost, honey, there ain't no Bure, there ain't no Peel, there ain't no nothing that is going to replace what it feels in your heart to be a kind blessing to someone else. Okay? That's what he wants. What I want's more coffee. Now, if you'd like to come over and make me some, we'll pray about it. We will. That's right. All right, kiddos. I love you all. Love and blessings to everybody. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I just wish we could all live on a commune or something together, where I could hug everybody. I'm kind of a big fan of the hugs, and we can just hug each other all day and drink coffee and eat cake that has no carbs, and none of us get fat. Wouldn't that be awesome? We don't need no money. Everything's free. We can just have this big happy commune where everybody's happy. We can eat pork chops and cake. Nobody gains a pound. Nobody ever cries. Maybe that's what heaven's like. I hope it is. I hope that in heaven you can eat pork chops and cake and meatloaf and cookies and not gain a pound, and it's going to be awesome. So that's what I hope. We'll see. See what happens. But y'all have a good day. Be blessed, and I'll talk at you another time. Capiche?